What's going on, guys? Steve from Subimods here. Today we have a plethora of Remark exhausts that we're going to be installing on our 22 WRX. Let's get into it. If you've been living under a rock and you've never heard of Remark, Remark makes exhaust offerings, both axle back and cat back exhaust for the popular Subaru chassis, including the VB. That being said, we're going to be installing all three of these on our VB today. We're going to be going over the differences between the exhausts. We're going to go over how they sound, everything you could want really out of an exhaust video. That being said, we're going to start off with the R1 single exit. It's a non-resonated mid-pipe. It has a titanium muffler section. The second exhaust we're going to be installing today is the Remark R1 Dual. This is a full stainless construction. It has a non-resonated mid-pipe with the stainless tips. That being said, this is one of the most customizable exhausts to your taste that Remark offers, with the resonated or non-resonated mid-pipe and the stainless or burnt tips, and any combination in between for whatever suits your needs. And the last exhaust we are going to be installing today is the Remark Sports Touring. This exhaust is a full stainless construction. It has a resonated mid-pipe. It has these beautiful stainless mufflers and these beautiful burnt tips on it. As with all of the Remark exhausts, they are a full bolt-on and go application. They include all of the gaskets, all of the hardware, everything you need to get this project underway and do it yourself. Let's move on to installing these systems, starting off with the Remark R1 single exit. All right, so you guys might notice a bit of a change of scenery as we are now driving with the Remark R1 installed. As you guys know, with the VBs, the cold start is just, it's quiet. This exhaust is definitely one that I would consider it to be on the louder side, as are most of the single exit offerings on the market. It does have a really nice tone to it. I'm fairly surprised, at least on the cold start and some short driving as we just left the shop here, that the non-resonated option isn't incredibly raspy, so that's a plus in my book. When we get a little higher in the RPM range, I mean, you'll really hear this thing wakes up. It kind of has this very interesting change in, I don't know if it's change in overall volume because we have the windows up, or it's just change in pitch, but it's definitely interesting, something that I haven't previously seen with any of the other exhaust offerings on the market for the VB yet. All right, guys, so we're gonna do something that's maybe a little controversial here. We often get asked about decibel readings for exhausts, and while for a lot of reasons that may seem obvious to us, it's not provided by manufacturers. That being said, there's a lot of variables in providing this information. A car at idle versus a car under load versus a car that is free revving. There's a lot of variables in sound production. That being said, we bought this decibel reader about as cheap as it gets on Amazon. It's 100% uncalibrated, but the point of this is that while these may not be factual numbers, we're trying to put some form of information out there just to compare these exhausts and exactly, the idea of how their differences in overall volume is, and we're gonna see how it goes. All right, now that we've fitted up our beautiful Remark R1 exhaust and we've test drove it, it's time to remove it in favor of the Remark R1 Dual. So that's what we're in the middle of right now. As always, said it before, I'll say it again, spend the $30, get an exhaust hanger tool. If the car is hot, wear gloves. If you're anything like me and you got 3 exhausts to install in one day, gloves, best friend. All right, we're back. We have the Remark R1 Dual installed right now, and my initial impression, both the tripod and myself looked at each other in a pleasant surprise when we started the car. It's quite a bit quieter than I thought it was going to be on an initial start. That being said, the car is still warm, so it's not the loud barking cold start that the VBs kind of have from the factory. So I can't necessarily comment on that, but overall, pretty surprised with the volume. You know, we're just driving some residential back roads right now, what I consider to be the normal commute to work. Ironically, this is my normal commute to work, so there's that. But I mean, it's fairly quiet. It's a very reasonable volume, but it still has enough volume for somebody that wants an aftermarket exhaust. They want their car to be a little louder than that of factory, and an overall good tone. I mean, right now we have the windows up, I got the AC on, you know, really just the creature comforts of life. And it's not too loud to just have a normal conversation in here. And after, you know, some throttle on it, this thing definitely, it's got some volume to it. Nothing super crazy, but it's got volume, you know, for you knock loose fans. Arf, arf. Now that we are done with our testing portion of the Remark R1 Dual, we are now going to remove it, and we are going to install the Remark Sports Touring Cat back. Now that we finish up our installation of the Remark Sports Touring Catback, let's go take it for a drive. We are on the normal exhaust commute route, and overall, it's pretty tame. You know, inside the car, same thing, AC on, windows up. This is definitely the quietest of all of the offerings that we've worked with today. But what I gotta really say is, you know, having installed 3 exhausts back to back to back in the same day, I can't find anything bad about the fitment, the quality, the sound, anything. These Remark exhausts are truly remarkable, you know, all pun intended. I know it's kind of a corny joke, but overall very nice pieces. I mean, the welds on the stainless are nice, the fitment is great, everything comes with gold zinc coated hardware, gaskets. It makes it a very, very simple installation. The exhaust hangers are where they need to be. Really just can't say enough good things. I personally think that this exhaust would definitely be very complimentary for anyone who daily drives their cars, perhaps that you're doing a lot of highway traveling. Maybe you live in an area that you have HOA fees or something like that, or you just don't overall love loud exhausts. This is really the sports touring is exactly that. I mean, it's a touring exhaust. It's very pleasant on the ears as far as a volume standpoint, you know. exhaust definitely wakes up in the higher RPM range, but it's nothing too crazy. It's got a great tone to it. It's got a great little growl to it. Overall, a really well-rounded exhaust for, you know, someone who doesn't want anything super crazy. All right, guys, that wraps up our video outlining these three beautiful Remark catbacks. We had the R1 single exit, the R1 dual exit, and the sports touring catback. Remark has a ton of different offerings for the VB chassis, whether you're looking for an axle back, a catback, a muffler delete, muffled, resonated, non-resonated, burnt tips, stainless tips. They really hit the mark with everything. We couldn't be happier to work alongside them in their quality products at a very affordable price. Very, very competitive. It's hard to go wrong with any of these offerings. Hopefully this video was helpful in helping you decide in what catback you're looking for, whether it's based on looks alone, sound alone, whatever that may be. Again, the decibel readings that we provided are just for comparison against each other. Nothing is calibrated. We don't actually know anything about measuring decibels. It's for information only. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.